Well, appreciate you guys having me here from Atlanta. Luckily, I got out on the flight and everything was fine, although I did not expect there to be snow when we landed on the ground. As he said, I've had a fantastic 2 years. Really, it's been an amazing process. I joined Cox just over 2 years ago to really start a startup within a $17 billion company with 60,000 employees, which is a pretty unique thing. We heard the word Kodak mentioned. I think a lot of big companies really, 22 years ago when I graduated from Emory University, I started my first company in my dorm room. Then being an entrepreneur was actually not in vogue. There wasn't Shark Tank, there wasn't all these pitches, there wasn't TechCrunch, there wasn't everything happening today. Today being an entrepreneur is definitely in vogue, and I've got a great opportunity to be with a big company and, let me grab the clicker here, and do something pretty amazing. It's probably a fantastic opportunity to be in automotive because there's just so much disruption. I just came from CES and everything that's happened, everything we've heard from Phil and Brian and the group. So we formed, let's see if I can get this right. Probably a battery issue. I'm worried. You could click for me. Yeah? Okay. They turned the battery off, so it doesn't work at all. You can click for me, though. It's not that important. So we formed a group. We call it New Ventures at Cox Automotive. I describe it as sort of a hybrid of an internal incubator, accelerator, and a venture capital group. So we've really explored a number of areas. You want to click for me, or I'll just... That's fine. That's fine. So it's funny, we've heard the word Henry Ford a lot today. This is our founder, James Cox, who started the company 117 years ago with Henry Ford. And really, if you think about Cox, it started as a media company, then it evolved into a cable company, and then around in the 60s, we acquired Manheim Auctions and have become a very large automotive player with brands that you guys have heard of between KBB and Auto Trader, Manheim and V-Auto and software companies, and really a global footprint. Bought a company called Dealer Track a few months ago. So really a major player in the automotive ecosystem. But what we wanted to look at are what are some of the things that are happening that we don't already play in. What are things like connected car, stuff we've heard about, the sharing economy, social media and advertising, the way consumers are getting information has changed dramatically. So if you can click through that. So it's a great picture that just talks about today the technology is happening really in San Francisco. It's happening in here in Detroit with what's happening with Ford Mobility. Techstars did a phenomenal thing. If you've probably everybody in here, raise your hand if you've heard of Techstars. It's it's fantastic. But today entrepreneurs can launch companies in literally months. These accelerator programs are 4 months long, and it's just shocking what can come out of them because with an app. And consumer adoption is so quick today that things can happen very quickly, as we've seen in 5 years with Uber. So if you can click to the next one. So these are just some of the things that we look at. Again, stuff you guys have all heard about, but what's really driven Cox to look at these new areas is one, consumer experiences are different. People expect things to happen on demand. Everybody talks about Uber for blank. Well, if you think about the car buying process, there's companies like BP and Carvana. I'm going to talk about at the end a company that we've launched. I really think everybody wants Uber for car ownership. I think people want it to really be simple. And once you experience things like Uber, you want the rest of your life to be like that. That's why Instacart has a $2 billion valuation. That's why all the different things that you've seen on-demand services have really just exploded and their adoption's very, very quick. The other, a couple people talked about is a connected vehicle. We're going to talk more about that, but really, for me, the inflection point, what really kind of flips the switch is when all the cars are connected, and we're hearing some amazing announcements. The one from GM, from Ford, AT&T partnering with Ford to do connected vehicles. The numbers are just astounding. But when the car can be connected, then things like car sharing can really accelerate. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about car sharing and some of the stuff we're doing there. And then, we've talked on and on about the new competitors and players in the market. I think we're all quite aware of that, and you really have to be nimble and quick. I look at my group as that speedboat that's next to the big barge. You just can't move a big company that fast. So by creating these sort of new ventures groups, and a lot of companies are doing it today, you can move very quickly. Next slide. So these are 3 areas that we're, within our new ventures team, really focused. We're focused around the disruptions in ownership. How is that changing? Ride share, car share, fractional usage, on-demand usage, car as a service, which I'm going to talk about, things like on-demand roadside assist, everything around the ownership model. The second is the connected vehicle. We really now think of that as the enabler. I almost think about that as big data, or buzzwords we hear. It's probably, in a few years, we're going to think about connected car like we do mobile. It's just going to be part of everything that we think about in every business, from some of the things I'm going to talk about later in the presentation, some of the ventures we've launched, all sit on top of the connected car. And then lastly, social. And I think this is most really important, obviously, for our company. We've got Auto Trader and Kelley Blue Book, a big media company. But I think it's important for some of the adoption of things like Uber. When you think about Facebook, having now, 40% of America gets their news and information from Facebook. It's probably closer to 50%. That things can happen very quickly. Could Facebook get into transportation? Could they be an enabler of this? Could they lock arms with somebody? So I think the entire world of how information is shared. The other stat around social media that we're following very quickly is, by show of hands, who has somebody in their house that's going to be thinking about getting a car soon? Well, my 13-year-old, he'd much rather have his iPad and his iPhone than stressing out about, he already, wants to use Uber. We're not going to let him yet, but he has the app on his phone. So, it's happening very quickly with social. Next slide. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about some of the ventures in our portfolio. The first one, Flexdrive, is an internal business I'll go into on the next slide. We also led the investment round in Getaround. Phil talked about that as a disruptor. So I sit on the board for Getaround. It's a car sharing company out in San Francisco. It's a peer-to-peer model. There's a couple players in that space. What's unique about Getaround is all the cars are connected. So think about like an Airbnb for your car, where you can walk right up to the car, very Zipcar-esque. The difference in our model is we're really empowering micro-entrepreneurs. Think about Uber is done for individuals, literally making anybody be able to go out and create their own delivery service of people. Getaround is allowing people to become a rental car company. And now we have individuals that have 3 cars, 5 cars. We've got an individual that's got 60 cars on the platform. And literally we've got thousands and thousands of vehicles. We're the #1 car sharing company in the city of San Francisco with the most dense population. And the thing about a P2P network is the number of locations where the car sits. Unlike an enterprise or a Zipcar, where you've got to have those physical locations, we're totally distributed. So, if you haven't seen the app, you can download it, but you'll see it's actually shocking. It was used in Apple in their worldwide developer video, talking about the apps that have really changed the way people live. So Getaround's been a really an exciting opportunity. Vinli, which is up there, it's a connected car company out of Dallas, Texas, that we just participated in with Samsung and Continental. Alt Driver is a social media platform that we delivered. Again, we really believe in this term called action-based discovery. There's so much happening out there. We could do a lot of research, which we do at Auto Trader, but our group is all about just taking these projects, moving very quickly. Next slide. I don't know if the sound works. We could show a quick video.
We've launched in 3 markets. This is the 4th one that we're launching in this year, and it's also the first one at a dealership. An incredible opportunity for Flexdrive, as well as a terrific opportunity for Fiat of Austin.
We're the first dealer in the U.S. that has actually launched it at the dealership. And we're excited about the platform of subscription-based car buying, because we know at Fiat of Austin that it's definitely the wave of the future.
For dealers, imagine receiving a vehicle in from a lease. Now you have an additional revenue opportunity where you can put that vehicle in the Flexdrive program for some period of time and then offer it for sale with minimal impact on your overall revenue.
So anytime you have people come into your lot, experiencing vehicles, using those vehicles, bringing them back for service, it's a good marketing tool, especially when you do such a great job with customers like Fiat of Austin does.
Looking at it from the perspective of Flexdrive, it means that we have practically zero customer acquisition costs. And then I think the benefit for Uber is that it allows them to get folks who are interested in driving in the program. It allows them to do so really quickly and with minimal commitment.
Definitely looking forward to expanding the product offering both here and in other markets throughout Uber. So definitely pumped to be here and get the partners out today and hopefully get these cars filled up and get them on the road.
Just imagine being able to get into a car with no money down. You have your maintenance taken care of, your insurance is taken care of, and all you have to do is just get those keys, get in the car, and pay for your own gas. Man, that's a win for Flexdrive, for Uber, and most importantly for the drivers.
I joined up with the Flexdrive program, and so I came to pick my car. I think it's neat. I normally use a SUV, but I wanted to try the Lux program within Uber, and so I don't have to go out and buy a luxury car now. I can do it without spending a lot of money up front.
Well, I just signed up for Uber, and we'll just see. I'm just starting out, but I'm excited to do so on a Flexdrive.
I mean, effectively, Flexdrive is going to be a verb. When folks go to car dealerships in the future, they're going to have three options. They're going to buy, they're going to lease, or they're going to Flexdrive.
So it's a win for the dealer, it's a win for the customer, and I think it's a win for the industry.